When a couple of years ago I wrote an article on how to overcome insecurity in relationships, I couldn't have predicted the response it would get. The article has now got close to 500 comments and over 1,000 Facebook likes, which is, just shows how huge a problem this is. And in fact, this is my most popular article to date, and I've written hundreds on all aspects of psychology. Now, today I want to show you the psychologist's inside information on why relationships go wrong and what you can do about it. And I'm going to look particularly at how you can easily mess up even a good relationship. Now, I want you to be able to take away with you strategies you can use in your own relationship right away so you can feel better and your relationship can get healthier. Now, I've been helping people with relationship problems for nearly 20 years. And while every person is different and every relationship is different, there are some key issues that crop up nearly every time. Now, as a therapist, I've helped so many people deal with feelings like insecurity, jealousy, and fear of rejection, so they can have much healthier relationships in the future. So throughout this video, I'm going to show you some cartoons from my course, 10 Steps to Overcoming Insecurity in Relationships. And the first one is this one. Okay, so this is a couple clearly having a great time, enjoying what I call the whirlwind bit of the relationship right at the beginning. And they're having a great time, but she's still managing to think this is way too good to last. And be gentle with me because, in the comments section, because these are my cartoons done by my own hand. Okay, now this might seem exaggerated, but I know from my therapy sessions that people do this sort of thing all the time. You might have even done it yourself. And while, of course, being with the right person for years and years can be absolutely wonderful, as a relationship continues, other aspects come in and replace that initial buzz. So although we all want that first rush to last forever, in reality your feelings will change over time. And that can be an indication that the relationship's getting better in some ways. So what can you do about this? Well, firstly, you need to bear what I've just said in mind, that during a relationship, feelings change from the initial high-octane excitement to a more mellow, deeper love. And so when you notice this happening, you don't take it to mean that the relationship is heading for the rocks. Perhaps it's just developing. The other thing that's important is just to be positive about your relationship prospects. And remember that just because you can imagine things going terribly wrong, and how awful that would make you feel, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Okay, so on to our next cartoon. Okay, right. Now we've all done this with one thing or another. Walking around the store thinking about anything but the groceries. She's reading her list and then the thought, does he love me? Keeps breaking into her thoughts and she can't stop it. And the problem with all obsessive thinking is that something important to you is uncertain. And the natural response to this is to try to make it certain, to remove the uncertainty. But we all go about this the wrong way. We try to solve the problem by using our imaginations to get a sense of certainty. But of course, this is impossible. So what you need in a relationship is to be able to relax with uncertainty. It's like when you get on a plane. You just relax and have faith that the pilot will get you where you're going safely. And you do that because you know you have no choice. And really, if you want a healthy relationship, you have no choice but to have faith that it's going to go well. And this is so important. I'll talk more about this in video 3. And the final cartoon for this first video is this. Okay, so clearly this guy in this cartoon is being a bit of a jerk. He's obviously looking at another woman. And the point of the cartoon is that sometimes jealousy is an appropriate way to feel. It's a signal that something's not right, but often it's not. And the reason that jealousy is so awful is that it's really anger and anxiety together, which is a potent mix. These two powerful emotions make you feel bad, and you can't hide them from your partner no matter how hard you try. And so they infect the whole relationship. And I've seen this happen many times in my 19 years of helping clients. One particular woman I was working with a couple of months ago really demonstrated to me how all-consuming and damaging relationship jealousy can be. We'll call her Joanne, and she came to see me because she really loved her boyfriend, who sounded like a really decent guy, honest, faithful. But perhaps because she loved him so much, she'd fallen into the trap of feeling threatened by all kinds of other women, women he worked with, women in the street, even women on TV. And not surprisingly, my client's jealousy had started to damage her relationship. She'd started, checking up on him, calling him at the office all the time, looking at his phone, asking his friends about where he was, all that sort of stuff. And of course he'd noticed, and it started to affect him. And what usually happens then is that the accused person's behavior inevitably changes too as a response to all that distrust, because they now have to prove themselves, and then you're into a vicious circle with no way out, because it's impossible to prove to someone else that you're 100% trustworthy. You can only ever be trustworthy up to this point in time. So we worked on a 3-step plan to help Joanne overcome her jealousy habit. And firstly, common to a lot of jealousy is the idea that your partner should never, ever look at anyone else ever again. I don't mean that you should be happy with them flirting with other people in front of you or anything like that, just that everyone, no matter how long they've been in a relationship, finds other people attractive or can appreciate that they are attractive, even if they don't feel attracted to them. It's instinctive. So there's just such a long way between that and them doing something about it. Step 2 was to understand the difference between realistic and unrealistic jealousy. Of course, jealousy can be a signal when it's caused by something that's really happening. But when it's being caused purely by your imagination, you need to be able to spot that and ignore it. I mean, what would it be like if a horror writer like Stephen King believed everything that he imagined? His life would be hell. And step 3 is to remember that if your partner is going to cheat, they'll find a way to do it. During Prohibition, people still found ways to drink alcohol despite the best efforts of the police. What you really need to be clear about is that if someone cheats, it's themselves they're making a fool of, not you. So when Joanne learned how to calm down and stop her jealous feelings, she noticed something. Not only was she feeling less jealous, but she was much more relaxed and happier in her relationship generally. They could actually enjoy the relationship. She could have a conversation happily with her partner about his work and could actually properly listen to him instead of her mind racing off into jealous thoughts when he mentioned a friendly female colleague. She enjoyed nights out with her girlfriends a lot more because she just relaxed and had fun and wasn't stressing about what her partner might be up to. And people remarked to Joanne that she seemed a bit calmer and less preoccupied, and her boyfriend seemed much happier and said that he was happier than it had ever been before in the relationship. Okay, so the next video I'll be showing you how fear of rejection makes you see it everywhere, and what's really behind the fear of abandonment, and how to really grow a successful relationship. And of course there'll be more of my cartoons from 10 Steps to Overcoming Insecurity in Relationships, and I'll let you know about an offer we have coming up on that course soon. And see you next time.